I'm pretty sure at this point everyone's already aware that Tucker Carlson and Fox News are nothing but propagandists for the Republican Party. They'll say anything as long as it fits with whatever the narrative of the week is. And that narrative does change from week to week. One day they'll say one thing, the next day they'll say another, and they flip-flop like mad. It's really an amazing thing to see. And it's usually the case that their message is in line with whatever the president's message is. Of course, only if the president is a Republican, but if they're a Democrat president, then they'll be the most contrarian group that you've ever seen. So they flip-flop like crazy, and they're nothing but propagandists for the Republican Party. So Tucker Carlson, now that he's the poster boy for the Fox News network, and I use the term news network very lightly there, as if what you call anything that goes on over there news, Tucker Carlson has been the main flip-flopper of the Fox News network. In the past, Tucker Carlson has argued for the effectiveness of masks during this global health crisis, and now all of a sudden, masks don't work. It's really an amazing video to see. I'm not sure who spliced these clips together, but props to whoever made this video and revealed the blatant hypocrisy of Tucker Carlson.
Many schools that do plan to reopen will do so under a series of restrictions that have no basis of any kind in science. It's a kind of bizarre health theater. Students will be kept 6 feet apart, everyone will have to wear a mask, class size will be limited in some schools, there will be scheduled bathroom breaks, etc., etc. No sports. It's insulting. It's ridiculous. They're telling you masks don't work unless you work in a hospital? How does that work? Does mask effectiveness change based on what job you do? They're only useful if you're already sick? What? Coronavirus can spread from asymptomatic carriers. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Oh, wait, you're just too dumb to wear the mask. Okay, because they're really hard to put on. Of course masks work. Everyone knows that. Dozens of research papers have proved it. In South Korea, Japan, Hong Kong, the rest of Asia, where coronavirus has been kept under control, masks were key. So look, we understand there's a shortage of masks. We understand only certain people should get them because it's a triage moment. We get it. But stop lying to us.
So that clip really speaks for itself there, and he sums it up perfectly at the end with his "stop lying to us." But I'll break it down just a little bit more to flesh out just how big of a hypocrite Tucker Carlson is. So back in March, it was, of course, masks work. It's been proven that masks work. There's research studies in various countries showing just how effective these things are. And then as soon as July hits, and he's talking about guidelines for reopening schools, he says they're not based in science. What happened to the research studies being proved? What happened to the research studies proving that masks work? I'm pretty sure that Tucker Carlson doesn't know the first thing about science. But it seemed like he was an expert there back in March. He was saying all the right things. Now all of a sudden, what happens? Now all of a sudden, the message changes. The narrative changes. Because they need to push this message that Donald Trump is pushing, which is schools must reopen. He's going to urge all governors to reopen schools, even though we're not ready to reopen schools. It's, oh, these guidelines are faulty. These guidelines are flawed. They're not based in science anymore. Even though 5 minutes ago he was just arguing for their effectiveness. It's really a crazy sight to see. I don't know how you can live with yourself being such a flip-flopping hypocrite, but I'm sure getting paid millions and millions of dollars helps him there. But it's really a shameful act to do. He should feel ashamed for flip-flopping this hard. I don't know how he does it. I really don't. But of course, the facts are that masks are at least somewhat effective in preventing the spread. Other countries have had success in doing so. And they're an essential piece to a lot of these reopening strategies. And Tucker Carlson in March, that's something March Tucker Carlson would say, but not July Tucker Carlson. This just goes to show that Fox News, they're nothing but hypocrites, nothing but propagandists. They'll parrot whatever talking points that they need to, as long as it supports their position. Let me know your thoughts. I'm curious to think what you guys have to say about the hypocrite Tucker Carlson. Follow me on Twitter at PathForwardYT. We've got some good tweets over there, and the revolution is growing. And subscribe to join the political revolution against mainstream media. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, they're bought and paid for. Independent progressive media is the path forward. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.